All right.
Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Barre Low Impact Full Body Workouts. I'm with Melody today. No makeup again.
Well, I got halfway started.
Well, yes, I combed my hair too. So good to see you, Melody. Today, guys, we would like to talk with you about manifestation versus meditation. This is where a lot of people, especially also yoga teachers, get confused and why there is a difference. Let's dive in. And Melody, would you like to start?
Well, sure. I guess yeah, kind of so I forget, was it yoga chitta vritis nirodha is like what meditation is supposed to be. And so it's like calming, stilling the waves of all the mind forms, all the things that pop up, And when you get into manifesting, I mean, even if you have like a calm water surface, then you start manifesting, you're popping up all these things, like all these different things that you could grasp at and, wants, which it's life, like they may or may not happen and you really don't have any control. I mean, obviously you can be responsible and work towards, things that are good goals. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, whether you obtain them or not, you're going to get some value. But yeah, there's just I don't really know how that started, other than like we've discussed, that meditation, when people teach it, it's okay, just sit still, do yoga long enough that you can just sit cross-legged for an hour or more and just chill, just sit there. People don't want to do that. They don't want to pay money to learn how to do that. I mean, the yoga,
it's actually a very valuable skill, and there is a reason why it stands almost at the end. When we look at the 8 limbs wheel, right? We start with yamas, niyamas. Then what goes?
Then asanas.
Asana is the 4th. Yamas, niyamas. Let's check it out. Yeah.
Okay, you got a phone? I got some books up here, but
okay, yeah. I think asana is the 4th.
So maybe pranayama before.
Pranayama might be before asana, yes. Okay, Patanjali's classification of classical yoga is set out in Yoga Sutras. He defined the 8 limbs as yamas, niyamas, asana, yeah, you were right, asana, and then pranayama. I was confusing the asana and pranayama. Yeah, I would assume that pranayama goes after asana. Pratyahara, that stands withdrawal. Dharana, concentration. Dhyana, meditation. And then samadhi, the absorption or the self-actualization, right?
Yeah, when you finally kind of still the mind stuff and all the forms that pop up.
These limbs have to be followed in sequence. When you go for the shortcut, when you go straight for the meditation, and then you fuse it with the manifestation, guys, this is why we brought up this topic for you. It's wrong. It's wrong because there is no shortcut. You have to walk, you have to do all of the 8 limbs. You have to follow with the yoga sequence, right? And you have to breathe. You preferably do it all at the same time, right? And then you can rest, you can sit still, as Melody mentioned, but it does not involve any kind of manifestation for the things that you want. It just involves to sit still and quiet. And that's the main difference between the two. And manifestation, I was curious, where does it come from? Let us know if you know the answer to this question, okay, in the comments, because it's something new, it's something I don't agree with, and I see a lot of yoga schools are doing it. They are implementing it into their practice. They want their students to do it because it feels nice. They get paid by the students to get into this manifestation, and nobody wants to do the meditation, the actual meditation, because it's hard. It's a lot of work. But if you prepare yourself before the meditation and you dive into the meditation afterwards, it feels natural. right? But with the manifestation, it does not. And this is why I don't understand why people are so into manifestation, you know.
Yeah, other than like you said, it's a shortcut, and it's, you know, kind of about serving like short-term wants, really, you know. Whereas, you know, yoga, I guess traditionally is looked at more kind of like the long span of things, you know, and even like going outside of like, you know, the time and space that we're like restricted to. And I do wonder, you know, maybe kind of like the surge in manifestation, because I mean, humans have always tried to manifest in some way, but you know, in the past, it's traditionally been through a deity or something, you know, some sort of power outside of themselves, and they do these different things to try to like appease the deity or like, you know, get its attention, and then hopefully they get a good harvest or like find a good spouse or like, you know, have a bunch of kids, you know, whatever it may have been back in the
It's
day.
also, I don't know, it feels to me like magical, you know, like you use some magical tricks to trick your way to trick yourself, trick your mind, first of all, right? When you go to a magician, you assume that they will give you what you want, right? Because you're paying them money, you're doing whatever rituals, whatever crazy stuff that they tell you to do, like drink the frog water, whatever, you know. It's just an example. I know in some cultures it's more prevalent than others. They try to trick you guys. And this is where you have to be careful, because look, if you can apply it to money, for example, imagine manifesting about money and money will show up in front of you. Will manifestation just be enough for you to get that money? Probably not, because you realize that you need to actually go and do the work. You actually need to go and you know,
Play the
change the
game.
money, find find the money, you know.
Take the money.
Yeah, you have to earn the money, right? It doesn't just show up. And this is why whatever you're manifesting for, it's not going to appear in front of you. You are deluding yourself. This is a form of delusion. This is why on my channel here, you're not going to find this kind of stuff. If you want the positivity, whatever, you know, brings you joy, happiness, and if you want a shortcut, find somebody else, okay? Because this is not what we are doing here. We are doing yoga. We are trying to do yoga properly from start to finish. And if you get to samadhi, nobody can tell you actually whether you got it or not. Just you are the one to determine that state, right? The state of blissfulness or whatever. You can be blissed with delusions. That happens a lot.
Oh, 100%. That's probably more common, you know, than something genuine, really.
Yeah, or you can be genuinely blessed by what you're doing, and sometimes what you're doing doesn't feel nice, you know, it doesn't bring you immediate kind of joy, but you try to do it the best ability you can every single time you do it. It's like karma, you know, karma is about doing things and how
it means action is, you know, like the Sanskrit kind of closest real, you know, word. I mean, we have all these different, you know, kind of things about in the West, but really it's just action, just do the right things, do, you know, and people kind of manifesting kind of seems like a shortcut to, you know, all these things, but really it's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. And of money, because you are not actually solving the problem. You are not. You are isolating yourself from a problem. You become delusional that everything is great, everything is fine. You are this, you are that, you're strong and independent. And look how it's very linked to the feminist ideology. Everything is linked to that one. And it's just lying to you guys. It's not true. It's not going to happen unless you put in the effort, unless you put in the work. And you have to exercise, you have to work If you want to do a genuine meditation, if you want to really see the results in your body, see some changes in your body, start working out and do a genuine meditation afterwards, and you'll see the difference.
Right. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not something that yeah, like I said, it's not super easy to just sit still for like an hour. And that's why like the you know, asana practice is so important, because it like you do all these like crazy things, but it's like you really need to like go to the extreme to like be able to like maintain good spinal posture, you know, sitting still, not have your legs fall asleep, you know, kind of the longer you plan on just kind of like sitting there in silence and observation.
Yeah, and you're just observing yourself. You observe your thoughts, you observe your body, any changes. You can play around, shifting the attention from one body part to another body part, like in Yoga Nidra. But you don't fall for manifestation. And I'll give you an example. I already brought it up to Melody. When somebody tells you, oh, feel the energy flowing through your body, it's green and white and whatever, it exudes into your body, it makes you feel really nice, it makes you feel really cozy, and you might feel like, oh, what's wrong with that? Well, there is something wrong with that, because it's already programs you what you should be thinking about. Instead, when you just are quiet and think nothing.
Right. And yeah, like you said, I mean, and maybe there's, you know, I mean, depending on what you're trying to do, like if so there's all sorts of weird psychosomatic things that go on, and like just I mean, I remember when I was like doing like dressage, like seriously, like I would sit there and I would visualize, you know, like going through, you know, the routine, like everything I had to do. And you know, that just helped me like remember it and, you know, really get it in my brain, you know. So when it came time to showtime, I'm not like, where do I turn at M? Like, you know, but I mean, it's not manifestation, it's not meditation, you know, that's, so I mean, yeah, obviously using your brain and your imagination, you know, can be helpful with certain things, you know, and sometimes you just, I don't know, even dressmaking, you know, like sometimes I'll have a piece of fabric, I'm like, this, I love the pattern, like, okay, I got to make something. I'll just kind of like think like, okay, you know, kind of rearrange things in my mind, be like, okay, I'm going to make that. But so yeah, I mean, for practical purposes, I guess manifesting, like if you're just thinking about like, I want to do this, I need to come up, but that's just planning, that's you know, and that's not expecting a dress, you know, I'm not going to expect to wake up and open my closet and be like, oh, there's the dress that I thought up the other day, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, in terms of just sitting there and like thinking about something and expecting it to happen, it's an utter waste of time.
Yeah.
So
this is why be careful with the manifestation. If you want to do authentic meditation, it's totally different. It should feel hard, it's not easy, and it's not fun. Right. If you do it the right way, it can be fun after a while when you establish the routine and the healthy habits. So guys, if you like this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, and let us know what you think. What has been your experience so far with the yoga